Mate, we've done it. The last, it's kind of like day 3 of the championships, maybe.
Yeah, it's like a consolation prize.
Unofficial.
Yeah, definitely. But, mate, just not just Sydney this weekend. There's bloody group racing everywhere in Australia. It's unbelievable.
We did 4 states. That's unlike us.
Could have done 5. But we gave that one a really wide berth.
We chose not to. So we did, obviously, the races at Randwick. We did the Quokka over in Perth. What else we do? There was a couple of listed races in Brisbane.
Mornington Cup Day as well.
Which we've had success at in the past.
We certainly have. So plenty to listen to, drifters, and plenty of reasons to have a play this weekend. Who would you do it with, mate?
The good people at Ned's, mate, they are absolutely sensational. Team Orange through and through. They have the profiles at the moment, which we wouldn't have helped you last week, or I certainly wouldn't have. But, you know, you can follow us on the tips that we give out there. Go straight to the profile, puts you in your bet slip, and you can get on there.
100%. Hopefully we find you a few this weekend if you decide to follow us in. And you know what? If you don't want to look at the profiles on Ned's, that's absolutely fine because they can cater to every other one of your needs anyway.
100%. But what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
I need to ask you a question. Be curious, drifters.
Mr. Brightside spins the bob and wins again. Sardozy wins the Oaks for J-Mac. The photo finish. Mr. Brightside or Romantic Warrior. The mare's going. Great guns. Fangirl. Look at her go. Fangirl. Imperatrice has got her. Have raced on by Imperatrice by a length.
Overpass. More Baker's Delight in Perth.
Radina just won it, I'd say. Tom Kedden won the spring champion in a cakewalk. Without a fight, won the Caulfield Cup.
Well, it's certainly a different weekend of racing. There is good racing all across the country.
Yeah. Somewhere to look everywhere.
Yeah.
Bit of rain around in Sydney this week for the end of the Sydney Autumn Carnival, but I don't think it's going to be...
Soft 6 at worst.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too bad. So, no heavy dicks. But, yeah, stakes races in Adelaide. Didn't know they existed. Mornington Cup Day down in Victoria.
The Crystal Pegasus Stakes.
Yes.
One of ours.
Yep.
For those long-term listeners of the show.
Yeah, definitely one of ours. And then, up here in the Sunshine State. And you can't forget about the 2 Group 1s in Sydney.
You can't. I refuse. I would hope you wouldn't.
No.
I'm trying to find the Longines ratings that came out today about Golden 60 being number 1 and Pride of Jenny being number 2.
Were they Longines or were they different?
I think it was Longines. Was it? I don't know.
I'm not sure. But, Pride of Jenny in there with Imperatrice in number 3, and I think Mr. Brightside found himself in the top 10 as well. I don't think it was Longines, but
okay,
could be wrong. So yeah, we're well and truly past the wash up for that race, aren't we? And wasn't it dissected to within an inch of its life? But
yeah,
we had a couple of discussions around it just via text.
Yeah, and I think our initial thoughts, because we recorded like minutes after the last race in Sydney, I think we got it pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
Like the commentary on Brightside leading up the rest of the field, it looked like Williams and Brightside definitely made that gap more significant by going 14. I think it was 14 lengths slower to the 600 meters than standard.
Yeah.
Group 1 standard. So
not even, I don't think, Group 1 standard. I think just standard. So they were going not only slow by Group 1 standards, they were going slow by regular standards.
So you know where you can actually see this is in that drone footage ahead. You see Jenny, she's like getting into her work, and it honestly looks like Brightside is jogging like early days. And it's like, oh, he's just had a mare there, Craig. And I've been a defender of Craig this autumn.
Yeah.
I think the criticism of him has been unjustified a lot of the time because what else do you want him to do?
Yeah.
In this instance, it was ridiculous. That was a terrible ride.
Yeah. Gave his horse every chance of running out a strong 2,000 metres, but didn't give his horse a chance of winning the race. But Like the other jockeys as well. Like one of them could have taken the initiative. So they're all dickheads.
I think, yeah. I think the next one in running, I think, was Place to Carousel from memory, and that was Tommy Berry. So, and he's definitely avoided all of the but, you know, Mellum and J-Mac were basically making it pretty clear that those boys had the onus to make the move. But anyway, so the TRC Global Horse Racing, so not Long Jeans. Number 1, Golden 60.
Very good horse.
Very good. Number 2, Pride of Jenny. Number 3, Imperatriz. Well, she will no longer be on this list. Romantic Warrior, number 4.
Good horse.
Mr. Brightside, number 5.
He's good horse.
Colours lowered.
Yes. Significantly.
He just doesn't like the fillies, does he?
No, hates the fillies.
Yeah, he just hates the chicks. He's like, doesn't have his nuts anymore. Master of the Seas, you probably know more about him than me.
Yeah, overseas horse, but
I'm assuming it's a him.
Yep.
How sexist of me. Laurel River, don't know.
Don't know.
August Roden, not sure. Rebels Romance, not sure. Lucky Swayness, I know that horse.
Yes.
There's a significant lack of the second of Portsea in that list.
There is. She's going around this weekend.
Maybe. Race 5, number 7?
So 7 or 8, I think.
Yeah. And she's drawn barrier 22 of 22, I think. There's 8 emergencies.
Yeah.
I think it just goes to show that in these middle distance ranked races, basically Australia-wide, there's not enough of them.
No.
And but you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you put them on, you run the risk of a 5-horse field, which as an owner I would love. But barrier 22, number 8 she is. So 8 emergencies, so she'll come into 14 if she runs. I did notice that Damien Thornton has either got the boot or he's taken the ride of the other high caliber horse. There's 3 high caliber horses in this race.
Yeah, I did see that.
So Justin Huxtable is the new ride.
Huxie.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, what's Huxie's work like? 12% winning strike rate for his career, but he's striking at 13% this year. So he's in form. Yep. So we got an informed jockey. I had a look at his black type wins. He's only got 2 on the CV. That's fine. We have none.
Yeah. We're talking benchmark stuff here.
Yeah.
Benchmark 68.
But what I really like about Huxie is he rode a crone to a black type listed race win as a 2-year-old.
You really love to see that.
I love to see that. Really Crone was one of my absolute favourites. Loved her.
Yeah, look, she goes back from that barrier, you would think. Ridden conservatively. If there's pace on, she'll just have to peel out wide, ride for luck. That's if she races at all. We'll have to wait and see, drifters. Keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your powder dry.
Yes, keep your powder extremely dry.
Yeah.
But
$11 she's
$11.
So
and look, if she gets pumped in again, I'll be surprised.
Well,
I'll have to have a word to bloody Craig Sneesby.
Well, I think he's the one to blame. And for good reason. He's had a fill up of an Autumn Carnival, I would assume. Because
you'd hope so. You'd hope so. He jagged 2 Group 1s and a Group 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see my Royal Ascot tickets came in last night?
Yeah, geez, that was a fancy little package, wasn't it?
Hey, I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Yeah.
It looks very good. So what is the actual date?
It was 2 months. What is it? It would be the 18th of June, I think. So, because I leave here on the 15th maybe. So it's a Tuesday meeting. Yeah, the 18th. And my Tuesdays at work are really hectic as well. So it's always a good day. It's like, when I think back, it's like, what would I actually be doing today? I'll be in back-to-back meetings till about 2 p.m.
It's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I'd much rather be at Royal Ascot than working.
So,
are you gonna have to get like a full-on 3-piece?
Nah, I don't think so. I might get a top hat though.
Yeah. What do you mean might? What's the point of going?
I don't know.
Should get a little on the Drift logo on it.
Oh, well, speaking of, for those of you that are watching the video and the eagle-eyed listeners, and watchers of the content last night on our Instagram feed, you might see that on my head here is a little On the Drift 2024 edition cap. A significant upgrade from the corduroy caps.
Significant upgrade. You know, cord was good for a while, but like all trends, we have to get on board, drifters. And the trends at the moment are the sort of sporty
nylon.
You know, I'm just going to completely backtrack on what I said. What the fuck do we know about trends? Realistically, we don't know if it's a trend, but it's more of a dad cap vibe.
Well, one of our dad cap vibe, perfect for the athlete. One of our mates is one of the best athletes you'd ever see, and he's promoted a hat similar to this recently. So he'll probably be on our Instagram feed in due course.
We might give him a small discount.
Yeah.
To put it on his story.
Yeah, that might be one that you seed out to an influencer.
Yes.
So they can influence their following, I think he has about 35,000 of them. Oof. So, so they will be coming. We opted for the sea freight over the air freight, so a bit longer timelines. What does this mean for you? You'll have caps to buy probably by the spring carnival.
Yes.
I'd say. So when the whips are cracking, when, Princess Jenny, Pride of Jenny versus like Fangirl and Mr. Brightside in the King Charles Stakes, you can go to the pub, you can wear this bad boy. You can wear it on a run in the morning because it is that type of material, but then you can go straight to the pub after that.
And look, sometimes it gets hot and sweaty at the pub as well. If you're backing home as many winners as we do, sometimes, yelling put them away about 20 times.
Exactly.
And whacking your own ass with a form guide can generate a bit of sweat. So, look, exciting stuff. And, are we going places, drifters? Well, we've already been places, but we're going to more places. That's where we're at.
Well, our DMs would suggest that we have hefty friends everywhere.
Yeah, significant friends.
Yeah, friends of influence.
High places.
Yeah. Couldn't believe it when I saw
left
that.
field, wasn't
I
it?
know.
It took me a little while to be like, oh,
yeah, a premiership winner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Yeah, did he? I don't know if he did. Anyway,
you're asking the wrong guy.
All right. There is some Group 1 racing this weekend at Royal Randwick. The last one's for a minute. So the first is the Champagne Stakes 1,600-metre mile test for the 2-year-olds. Small field, but look, not the top quality that we've seen, but this is typical of a Champagne Stakes. The talent typically does dry away, I guess, but a node probably goes forward like all Waterhouse Spot horses do. Linebacker was right there with him last start. Broadsiding was a fantastic win last week. Absolutely brained the C graders, I would say. This is obviously a step up. But
Deserved to be in the field though.
yeah. How many times do we see the Sires and the Champagne go back to back? Does Manal do that?
Yeah, I think Manal is rightful favourite. That's for sure. I want to take her on though in this race. Like she could come out and spank them. Only just got past traffic warden though.
Not a traffic warden guy?
No, I am a traffic warden guy. But I just think that based on her racing style, right, she runs on it for a really nice fifth in the Golden Slipper, runs on to just get home in the Sires. And, she's been up for a while now.
Yeah.
Manal. So aside from that, is there any holes in the CV? Not particularly.
I think, yes, she does run on a bit. She'll be pretty much dead last. In a small field, I think offsets that.
Yes.
Significantly.
It does. And Jay Carr on. Jay call it off. You're not losing a thing.
No. God, no.
Not losing a thing.
I'd say she's hot. Well, she's hot on the track.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Not as hot as Hot Nash, though.
No.
Actually, who's Nash on in this race?
I don't know if he has a ride.
He doesn't have a ride, Hot Nash.
Fall from grace.
Maybe Hot Nash is over in WA.
Let me check that. You keep talking.
So a note will go forward. I thought he was good in the size, but I also thought that maybe he didn't particularly enjoy the heavy deck. So that's got to be a query if there is around in Sydney this week, which by the looks of the forecast, there is. So he'll definitely be leading. Wouldn't be surprised if he bounces back, but I'm going to take him on. I like linebacker in this. Linebacker is going to be my selection. I just think there's a sense of timing about this colt. Only 2 runs so far. He was good enough last start, albeit with a bit of weight relief, to get over the top of a node. By Super Seth. Super Seth won a Group 1 over the mile, so there's no reason why linebacker can't do it. What I like about him as well is that he'll be sitting just off a node, so he's probably going to get the first crack at him. And in these 2-year-old races, like, if he's in the first half of the field, like, it's probably not as big of a deal as a weight for age race, I'd say, because the 2-year-olds tend to really go for it. But I like the look of linebacker. He's going to be my top selection, but really, really tough to split him and Manal, and you're actually not getting a much better price either, which is, I was hoping for probably closer to maybe $350.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that as well. And because of that, I've got Manal on top, but I also look at the feature 2-year-old races. That can be Group 1 or Group 2 level, basically. And the same form references keep coming. The green keeps rising to the top. The Blue Diamond and the Slipper is the best form. Manal has that slapped all over her resume. So barrier 4, Jamie could even get a midfield. And if she's even behind linebacker in running, it's good night nurse, I think.
Yeah.
She has a serious turn of foot. So I have Manal on top. Linebacker is the danger. Broadsiding on the quick backup is fascinating because he was in different class to those last week. But I typically just want the horse that's kind of targeted towards it. I think Manal kind of still fits. I feel like the fillies are more robust than the colts.
Yeah, you could say that. One thing I forgot to mention with linebacker as well is if for whatever reason we do end up getting a heavy deck, he's won on debut on a heavy deck. So we know he can get through it, but Manal obviously won on a heavy deck in the size. So that clearly the two just decided to go for the colt because surely they get one off the fillies. Surely.
Hey, maybe it's the TJ, the JJ rather.
Maybe.
Let's go to the all age. Happy with this field?
I think it's a good field.
It's a good field.
Yeah,
I think so.
Lots coming out of the TJ. A couple others who are clearly heading towards a Brisbane Carnival. Bit of 3-year-old form.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, your old mate Buffalo River comes here. That's fascinating.
Big buff.
Yeah.
Love to see him in this race though.
Oh, inject some speed.
Inject a bit of pace.
Yeah.
A lot of speed drawn out wide in this race by the looks. Bandersnatch, Golden Mile roll forward. So I think there'll be probably some pretty good pace in this race. Would you say so?
Yeah, I think so. Group 1, 1,400 metres. I think it will be genuine. There's more genuine sprinters in this than there are in, those first Group 1s of the calendar year. So, well, I say that, but Prior Jenny was in the first one. So, yeah, I thought I did the form on basically a soft 6. So, slightly improved track from the TJ. Want to take on Chain of Lightning, although she's been sensational. I looked at her resume because it is pretty good. 21 starts, 8 wins, 3/3. So she's running a place 52% of the time. She's had 9 runs at Group 1 level. That's the first time that she's been in the top 3. But she has run 4th a few times. I was like, what's she done at the distance? Her figures are quite smart. So she won a Group 2 against Pelissa at Caulfield when she was just on that absolute tear of a run.
Yeah.
Just a mare in form. Then she kind of was going up against the boys up in grade. So she lost, she ran 6th in the Stradbroke, which, that was the form around that was Pelissa ran 4th, I think. Ruthless Dame ran 5th and she ran 6th. And then, you had Rothfire and Hawaii 5-0. So it's a pretty decent form reference as it is. And then she ran 4th behind Pelissa basically maintaining her form in the Tiara. And then she was kind of a non-event in the Rupert Clark. So she does kind of find it back on soft ground though, which I think is her jam.
Yeah. So she's a top 4 chance for mine purely because of that. Like, I think you just put a line through everything prior, except for when she's been on a wet deck. So She finds another wet deck here. She draws well again, like 1,400 meters. That's fine. Like she's got to be a top 4 chance based on what she's done the last 2 runs. She's not my on top selection though. I'm taking her on, but would not shock.
No.
Just purely on what she did in the TJ.
Yeah.
Like if she takes any improvement out of that, she's going to be incredibly hard to beat.
I agree.
Loses Froggy though.
Yes. Okay.
No knock on Rachel King, but she's not Froggy.
No, Frosty.
Froggy.
Froggy, I was like,
Craig knew it.
hold on.
No, Frosty, sorry.
Yeah, okay, right. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
No. So,
yeah.
I'm fascinated. Who have you got?
Well, Sunshine in Paris was my first starting point, right? Because we thought for this race, this is the one that would be right up her alley, and I still think that. Caught wide in the TJ. She did have a little bit of cover, and she was only beaten by, less than a length?
Mate, 0.7 of a length. It was a blanket finish in that race.
So second up after a really long break, maybe she was just caught a little bit flat-footed. Third up here, 1,400 metres.
First time on a heavy ground as well.
Yeah, so a few excuses. She did draw a little bit sticky, but I watched the replay thinking, she was wide no cover. She had cover, so it wasn't the absolute worst. But so she's probably going to be my on top selection here. Draws a nice gate here. Ryan Maloney goes back on. He's got an affinity for the horse. She could be a better 1,400 metre horse than a 1,200 metre horse, right?
Already won a Group 1 out to the distance against the fillies.
We don't have a big enough sample size, but that's pretty good, right?
Exactly. If she's competing at this level so early in her career, like she's only run a Group 1 level this prep, which is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah.
At her 9th start, which is absolutely insane.
So she's the clear sort of starting point for me. The 2 big dangers I have, aside from Chain of Lightning, Magic Time and Southport Tycoon. Southport Tycoon gives me what's the bottom of him type horse. The only thing is the scratch from the Donny after quite a bit of a break from the Australian Guineas going back to 1,400 metres, like maybe he's more of a miler. So that's the reason why I'm probably happy to, take him on. And then Magic Time, she's a 1,400 metre horse through and through. Talk about the TJ being a blanket finish. Like she finished 7th there, but I think it was 1.1 lengths. So she effectively went as well as Sunshine in Paris, right? And we know that she can run a really good 1,400 metres out. Draws well too. So they're the ones for me.
Yeah, fascinating that you've left Espiona out there.
Yeah, for whatever reason, when it gets to a grand final like this, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Could she brain him? Yeah, 100%. But she's still doing so much wrong.
She is.
And I think this is a really smart field.
It is a good field. She was held up for basically the entire length of that Randwick Straight and she only just missed. When you're held up like that, time and time again, I get suckered in going I have to be on next start.
Yeah, which is why she's favourite here.
Yeah, exactly. And if Nash couldn't get out of that bloody Rubik's Cube situation in the TJ, then who can? He sticks. He has a good record on her. He needs that alpha, that daddy to be on top of her too.
Yeah.
Her stats at the distance are just so divine.
Yeah, they are.
8 starts, 5 wins and a third. She loves Randwick. I am taking her on as well though because I don't want to get suckered in. I think at the price, she is not a bet for me.
She does so much wrong.
Yeah.
If this was Flemington, but I think she's better on a Melbourne leg.
Yeah, agreed. We've seen that time and time again, but she came of age in the spring on her Sydney leg as well, so it's hard to say, but that was against the Phillies, so there's so much to unpack there. Anyway, Sunshine in Paris is on my on-top selection. I think the heavy ground, I think she showed her class to be good enough to finish within a length, but she's not as brilliant as what she can be. Barrier 2, I think, is a plus because they can sit a lot closer on her, I'm hoping. And, Ryan Maloney has such a good affinity with the horse, as you said. Mate, I'm fascinated to see how Private Eye runs here. I think he is one that you have to chuck into your quaddies and everything. $8.50, he's a big price. He's running well. He's just getting way too far back. Barrier 10 doesn't help him, but some of his best runs, I'm thinking Everest's. I'm thinking when he won that race first up in the spring, he's 3 wide without cover anyway. J-Mac on, I reckon, I don't know if J-Mac rides that often for Joe Pride.
No.
So I reckon chance your arm, sit 3 wide, no cover if you have to, and see how good he is.
Yeah, he's probably more of a 1,400 metre horse than a 1,200 metre horse, ultimately, private eye.
So I have him in and around my numbers as well. Best of luck to Marcus Williams and the connections of Amenable as well. Now, the Quokka. Race 8 at Ascot. 1,200 metres slot race. Wait for age. Overpass. Can he go back to back?
I think he can. Like, he's not my top selection, but, geez, 2 from 2 at Ascot.
Barrier 6.
Barrier 6 is bloody beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's what, $4.40? Like, fair enough.
Yeah.
For Overpass. He'll be hard to chase down. I think maybe his stablemate, Malkovich, they might just undo each other, the stablemates. Yeah. Malkovich will roll forward from, where's he from? Gate 2. So he's good value at $23. I'm hoping there's enough pace in the race for a couple other horses for mine. What do you reckon? Do you reckon he can go back to back?
Oh, 100% from that draw. He's just a fast horse. You want him first up. It's the right way to target him towards a race like this. I'm on the King, though.
Of course you are.
Like, I fell out of love with him, but like all good, like strong love affairs, like we're back in love now.
Blake Shin?
I love that. Barrier 4.
Why is he flying over there? He's not wasting his time.
Cash, mate. Cash. So, King of Sparta, Barrier 4. They have figured this horse out. I love it. But just because they're giving him so many weeks between runs, and he just, if he runs up to that Gold Coast run, which is that whole Gold Coast track, that whole form reference is a bit icky at the moment, but he did it subsequently at Randwick at the next start as well, and he was 5 weeks between runs there. God knows how many he's here. 9 weeks between runs, so he's like had a proper layoff now. Love it. Targeted towards this Snowden's RA grand final stable. I think he's just a genuine sprinter these days.
Yes, he's a big chance. The two that I like, obviously, Amelia's Jewel. Like, she missed first up, but she was first up and she came home really nicely.
That Pride of Jenny form's stacking up pretty good, isn't it?
Isn't it just? So Amelia's Jewel can win 100% Frosty on. She'll go back and she just has to launch at him late. I don't think she's a 1,200 metre horse, but she's good enough to win. Mate, what's Oscar's Fortune done wrong?
He's done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. Gets an absolute gun gate. And the good thing about this horse, he's going to have tactical speed. He can sit behind the leaders as a 3-year-old.
Is that the Wizard on?
The Wizard. And it's a Western Australian horse. Like, that combination, they're going to be like, no, fuck you, East Coast Raiders. Like,
yeah.
I want the Quokka.
Me.
I think he's that first up win wasn't, mate, that second up win, sorry, wasn't a fluke. Like that was a good win, and you know he's going to be ahead of King of Sparta, Amelia's Jewel, and the likes of launching from the back. There's something about Oscar's Fortune. I think we might see him on the East Coast eventually, but they're the two for mine.
I'd have to look back at my Oscar's kind of form references, right, and his races, because
he beat Ripcord home and just lost to Overpass in the actual Winterbottom. So like he's a smart 3-year-old.
Absolutely. I'm more thinking like, how many times has he been pressured early? You know what I mean? Because I think he can take a sit. Looking at his form like very briefly here, where he sat third in the running, so he can take that sit. But how quick are they going? Because Malkovich and Overpass no other way.
Yeah.
Handle bars down.
And the other thing for Oscar's Fortune is, I think of his 5 wins, 4 have been over 1,000 metres. So I think he's probably a bit sharper than a 1,200 metre horse. But, like I said, he's done nothing wrong.
Tell you what, Bella Nipotina is an iron horse, isn't she?
Mate, you'd love to own her.
Yeah.
You'd love to own her. 6.8 million in the bank. Yeah, like she wouldn't shock either. It's a smart little race. Like it's probably a genuine Group 2, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Like a genuine Group 2.
Yeah. Like if they...
And I'm not, that's no knock.
No, it's not.
No knock.
No, that's a proper assessment of the quality of the field.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that the all age is I don't think there's that much difference between the two fields, in my opinion.
No.
Because you have like the likes of these WA stars in AJ and Oscar's Fortune, but you have like obviously the class.
Yep.
Like for instance, would this field be buoyed by the likes of Bjorn Osnotches here? No.
Icky.
All right, so King of Sparta on top for me, and
I'll go AJ because like love her.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think she's not the superstar that her that all the media would suggest. The amount of media attention that she gets, like she's not a Arcadia Queen, for example. Arcadia Queen was very, very good, mate. But there's something about this horse. You know what I mean?
yeah. The thing is, right, Arcadia Queen, she came out and won that.
Kinnan.
Yeah, but over there, you know, it was like one of the highest rated whatever race that was, the Northerly or whatever it is
the
now.
Northerly, yeah.
And she stuck to being like, well, she didn't as a 4-year-old because she ran at Everest and then a Golden Eagle, which put a line through that year because Bob Peters just loves cash. But, you know, we saw the best of her at the mile at the 2,000 metres. We haven't seen AJ kind of get back out there where I think that's cherry ripe for her. I want to see her as the middle distance because our middle distance ranks are not that good.
Anita, would love to see her ends up training her in Sydney.
I think I have a fair idea.
Who do you reckon?
I think it'll be Chris Waller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like reason number one's there, I reckon.
Yeah, true.
Winks I'm pointing to. Like they're going to take her to a Cox Plate. Like what else are they going to take her to?
True. I love to see her in a Cox Plate.
Yeah, like a King Charles. Like he has Fangirl. He knows how to train a good mile mare.
Well, that's the only thing, right? Is if you're the owner of Amelia's Jewel and you know that he's got Fangirl and a couple others.
You take it to Kieran Maher and he has Pride Jenny.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
That's the thing.
So do you look for someone who's
like the Snowdens or
something?
something?
Like the Snowdens or something like that.
Waterhouse
Joe Pride.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waterhouse Spot. Managed to turn Millie into a front runner.
Yeah, I didn't even consider them. Waterhouse Spot.
Yeah, well, you don't really think about them for a middle distance mare, do you?
I'd say in the if you to take like a who's most likely, I'd say it'd be like Waller, probably Kieran Maher. They're probably like number 1, 2, like dead heat. And then I'd say like Snowdens and yeah, you're right, Joe Pride, like pretty much the same. I feel like that's like the most likely outcome. Maybe like an Annabelle Neesham or something. But
what about Björn?
Yeah. Well, he knows he's.
That's what I mean.
He'd be shaking hands over there.
He might move over there. Imagine that.
Baker's Delight in Perth.
Yep.
All right.
Baker's Delight in Perth.
Let's have a look at the rest of this card, eh? Race 3 is the Moyston Cooper.
Where are we going?
At Randwick.
Back to Randwick.
1,400 metres, Group 3 for the 3-year-old filly, set weights and penalties. I'm willing, because I'm a forgiving guy, to forgive Miraval Rose for an absolute horror show last start.
That was a horror show, wasn't it?
It was no good. Really heavy ground, probably didn't play into her strengths. So I'm hoping for no worse of a soft 6, and if it is that, I think she'll be able to turn around.
I think so. Let me point you in the direction of a smart little Kiwi filly, Scarlet Oak, in those Aussie Kia Silks. Was phenomenal.
Yes.
Was phenomenal in its debut run in Mata Mata over in New Zealand. Aussie Kia had the blinkers on for her, brought her over.
Kermit deck, eh?
Yes, they've got an incredibly high opinion of her. So she's short enough in the market, but just keep an eye out for Scarlet Oak drifters.
The aura of these silks are just
it's like a Godolphin. Like honestly, like you can just slash the price.
Yeah. because the connections love a punt, basically.
Yep.
Race 4 is the Frank Packer Plate, 2,000 metres, Group 3 for the 3-year-old, set weights.
It's 10 houses time, surely.
I think this is like the roulette, like chance your arm, get the hell out. You win big and then you get the hell out.
Get out of the casino.
You know, you go like, you're looking at the roulette table and you're like, oh, that number is just screaming to me right now. You put your money on, it lands, and you're like, thank you, see you later.
Get out of the casino. If he doesn't win this, you're like, you can't.
Life.
But if he wins this, Derby
Queensland Derby.
or South Australian,
Chris Waller doesn't really target South Australia. Like
Worth
Toffee
it.
Tongue, yeah, I get it.
they're worth $1 million now. So he's gonna have a few runners next weekend in Adelaide.
He ran okay in Queensland when he was up here.
Yeah. I was so confident. I was convinced he was winning the JJ.
Oh,
Turns out I was wrong.
King Colorado's a good horse, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can run on a bit, can't
He
he?
can run on a bit.
I think there's two chances in the stablemates, right? Tannhauser and Saltcoats. Saltcoats was fantastic, but that Weimark form has got me a bit icky.
Yeah.
Because he was so poor on the week back up, so he might not have handled it, and he was in an eternity into a prep in the Derby. So, but he was the one running on, only beating a length. You're like, oh, hello. I thought he might want a little bit further. I thought the Derby was his race. So I am leaning team Tannhauser, barrier 3, J-Mac on.
It's his time, mate.
I think so.
It's his time.
I was hoping for more than $3 though.
Look, I got out of the casino with Ducasse last start.
That annoys me.
I know.
I'm back at the ATM
Yeah.
with Ducasse.
Yeah, I know. But this is the time with Tannhauser.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. The Hallmark Stakes is basically like it's like the when you go to a show, what's like the
Preview.
Yeah, the preview, or like the act that is before the main event.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
The supporting act.
The supporting act. Yeah, this is definitely the supporting act races on the for the Autumn Carnival in Sydney. 1,200 metres, Group 3, set weights, penalties. You have the likes of Marzu with Jamie Carr on. Fascinating. After Cabin, I need to see it again from him. He needs to actually win a race for me. I thought, oh, damn it.
Ultimate gear change.
Valana?
Yep.
You talk to him then.
He's had the ultimate gear change. That's all I need to say.
Okay.
And for a horse that showed enough talent with his nut still, and like last prep just had stinky poo-poo written all over it. And I think it's because he was just getting a bit too cultish. And Godolphin looked at him and said, well, mate, have you really earned the right to stand at stud?
No.
Like we've just retired Paul Laley to stud, who has the same sire as you, bro. Come on, man. Like, come on, you got to give us something on the track. And he was like, you know what? I just don't feel like it. And then the next day he was like, shit, I really wish I felt like it. So he's been gelded. I think the ultimate gear change is going to work wonders for him, hot Nash on. Like, you're not getting a price to find out, but I'm happy to bet into him rather than front page, for example.
Well, I'm not betting in this race now because
Short.
I did it before the prices. I'm like, front page is a bet here, but $2.15. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like he started, he had a lot of supporters, and I gave him a push in the Galaxy prior to. Like he was $20 into 13s. That's just pretty significant money, but Christ, $2.15. Give me a spell.
You know where he's going to be, though?
That's true.
He's drawing a gate.
Yeah. JRA Plate, race 6 rather, Group 3, handicap. Really hoping Winx's half-sister gets a run here, City Alliance.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think she's a bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's a
$9.
bet. Yep.
14 sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does suck. J Carr on though. Aside from that, Faulkner Park, Albury form.
Yeah. Soft ground is his undoing.
Yep.
For me. He was good last start, but I'd rather, anytime he sees one drop of rain, I feel like he gets scared. Yonsei's interesting.
Yes.
She wasn't disgraced in that weirdly run Coolmore Classic. Before that, she was knocking off like the likes of Foxy Cleopatra and Young Werter.
Yeah. I think they sort of, after the win at Caulfield, they sort of thought, okay, cool, let's take it to a Group 1. And the 5-week gap going back to 1,500 metres. So I think if this race was back, earlier on, it would have been perfect for her. So I think you're getting $11, 2,000 metres to find out. Yeah, that's worth a shot. That's worth a throw at the stumps, I think.
Yeah. The other one is, I think their favourite in current markets is New Energy as well.
Has he trimmed up?
He's $4.20 now.
No, as in trimmed up.
Oh, right.
Because he was fat as a bus.
Yeah, you'd hope so because he's third up here now with a trial. So, so that was coming through the that race, that V8 one. So,
the George Ryder.
Yeah, but I think hopefully City of Lights gets a run. She'll be mighty hard to beat.
Yep.
Now, I think that's all we've got
in Sydney. Yep.
In Sydney. So let's go to Mornington because there's a few races there. Do you have them open in front of you?
I will in 2 seconds.
Because I don't have the race numbers in front of me right now.
So what's the first one of the 2-year-old race?
Let's have a look here. The Mornington Guineas.
Mornington Guineas.
So that'll be race 6.
Yes.
Now, not too much happening here.
No, there's not. Stylish was a nice winner at Pakenham the other night, a couple of weeks ago. Draws a nice gate here. She's short enough. Looks like this is a 1,600 metre race. Yep, 1,600 metres would suit. But aside from that, Dolphin's Skin was pretty good first up as the prep sort of gone on. Form around Vibrant Sun, Legacies, all those sort of types. But yeah, pretty gross race all in all, to be honest, mate. Rip Raw, the favourite, was okay first up in Geelong, but is it inspiring confidence to bet?
I have zero opinion in that race.
Yeah.
0. Now, race 8 is the Mornington Cup, so 2,400 metre listed open handicap. First Immortal. Barrier 13, he won't be held up on the fence this time.
No, he won't. He won't. That was a horror watch.
And if he is, Luke Curry he'll be slaughtered.
Reprimanded.
Yeah.
That was a horror watch. First Immortal last start. I think too bad to be true. I think you back him again. I think you back him again here. Drawn a little bit sticky, but at least you can peel him out and build up the revs. The stable's got such a high opinion of him, and they were giving him a push as well. So he's got to carry a heavier weight than a fair few of these, but I've got a high opinion of the horse. So you don't win first up like that as a stayer unless you got something under the hood, right?
Yeah. I like stayers over those shorter distances first up, though.
Yeah.
You can jump out of the ground like that. If they're classy enough, and he definitely is. Gear Up, he's been a different horse this prep. He's been sensational. You're getting I feel like he's one of those horses that will keep winning at those big prices.
Yeah.
Strawberry Rock was charging to the line behind Mark Twain.
The Kieran Maher horse, yeah.
I think you always don't forget about the Kieran Maher horses over this distance. So I think he's the top pick. Now, the Hariba Stakes, 1,200 metres listed, open handicap, race 9 on the program. You know who I think is constantly forgotten about in the market and runs above their quote? It's number 2, Savannah Cloud.
Savannah Cloud does. All the time.
$13.
Big price.
Doesn't win all he does win that often, though.
Yeah, good horse.
He's a good horse.
Good horse. Draws a gate, so you know where it's going to be. Yeah, I thought Savannah Cloud was very disrespected in the market. I'd rather take him than Jigsaw, for example.
Yeah, I reckon Jigsaw was one of the. Yeah, he won this race last year.
He did,
and he was one of the best of the century.
Yes,
that was great.
It was you're easy as clear the runway.
Well, it's not that set up here.
No, it's not. Grand Impact was the other one. Was an okay return in that extra 2 race at the Valley the other day. Pretty lightly raced horse, Grand Impact. But, $5 wouldn't shock. But, no, I thought Savannah Cloud was a bet too.
My old mate, the Inferno, has been decent. You know what they've done with this horse? They've stepped him back in grade, which I think helps. So he can definitely win. This is probably one of the easiest races he's competed in. Like he's had 12 starts at Group 1 level.
Yeah,
Inferno.
ridiculous.
So he's definitely in with a chance. Now, was there a 2-year-old race that you wanted to touch on?
No, it's just it's probably a a listed or a black type race, but do I know a lot about it? No.
Let's give it a wide berth then. Let's go to Eagle Farm because there's now when they put some of the black type races in the last at Eagle Farm or in Brisbane, you know that the Winter Carnival is just around the corner. So race 8, the Ascot Quality 1,000-metre listed race. This wouldn't be a Queensland sprint without a Prince of Boom or a Boom horse in there. So it draws barrier 1, $3.50. I didn't mind Natuno here.
Yeah, Natuno, like
Ultimate gear change.
yes, has had the ultimate gear change, and I think there's going to be so much pace in this race, and from memory, Natuno is a real sit just off it type operator.
He is.
With the ultimate gear change. So I think at $9, like maybe Prince of Boom will just brain him, but got to carry a bit of weight. And Zarastro, we put on the pressure from out wide. Who else will be sort of going forward in that race? Petronius, Enterprise, Pomme.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Natuno could be a bet, but Prince of Boom is a smart horse. Like when he's on, he's a Group 2 horse. I think. Prince of Boom.
Yeah. And then race 9, the Daybreak Lubber, 1,400-metre listed 3-year-old. Now, there is a horse here for Robert Heathcote, this press link. Have you seen the replays of this?
Yes,
thing?
it's a very smart horse.
This horse, I want to see what price it is in a Stradbroke because 1,400 metres here, like they could freshen him up 2 months into a Stradbroke for sure.
They definitely could, yeah. Oh man, he's won like a horse who's definitely sort of black type, and yeah, you're right. Like, what do you do with him if he brains him here? Do you just sort of give him a bit of a tip him out for a bit?
$26
in a Stradbroke.
Yeah,
jeez.
Like that was a 3-year-old open handicap that he blew him away in.
Jeez, yeah, you'd want 50s.
That's disappointing.
You want 51s.
Yeah.
Like $26 is a phenomenal price, but so much has got to go right for him to even get in that field.
Yeah.
So that's why you nice little steer clear.
At that price.
Yep.
But I think he's a bet this weekend. I'm keen to jump on board. Barrier 4. Michael Rodd. Be good to see him get a smart one as well.
Yep. No, good horse. He'll be very hard to beat. Very hard to beat.
Yeah. I think that's about it, isn't it?
That's about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's some stuff going on at Morpheville, but we're not interested.
I don't think so.
No, we're not interested.
Yeah. I've got that many bloody tabs open.
Yeah.
We've given you tips across 4 states. What else do you want? 5?
Shit.
Getting a bit greedy, isn't it?
I think so. The Sangsters next week and the Oaks.
Yeah.
In Adelaide. The Sangster, you know, what? Like as much as we disrespect Adelaide, and deservedly so, the Sangsters sharpen up to be a little smarty. Benedetta, Estriella, a couple of mine.
Roots,
yep.
One of mine. And she was sensational first up.
She was very good.
And I like that they kept it fresh.
Booking of J-Mac. He's
first
going to
time.
Adelaide for the first time ever.
I wonder if we'll ever do that. Go to Adelaide first time ever.
What, the actual track?
Yeah.
Well, I've been there, and so have you. But we haven't.
Yeah.
We've given the track a wide berth.
Yeah, I've been to the Adelaide Oval, mate.
I think it's going to have to take, the deep pockets of someone to pay for us to go.
Yeah. True.
Like I ain't going there specifically for what?
No, I'll go there for work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's for work.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, like we're not going to enjoy it.
No.
But yeah, so plenty to look to. So I wouldn't say look forward to.
I've never seen a track like Morphettville where the rail is constantly off. Like you never see anything like close to the rail win there. No. I feel it's just like they're all running down the center of the track. I'm like, what is going on at that joint?
Oh, God knows. Yeah, watching Bendigo last week was I was like, look, is there much of a difference between Bendigo and Morphettville? Not really. Like what,
True.
$1 million a race now. Like,
Yeah.
Like hopefully it generates some interest. But Benny's a smarty, and I think STL is very, very smart. So we'll have to wait and see.
I think that'll be a good race, and we have been taking giant dumps on that joint. More
rightfully
South
so.
Australia Racing, but at least they're doing something about it.
Yeah, true.
If the races, if they're good quality races, we don't care where they're run.
Very true.
It's been quite frankly completely poo poo since we've been here.
Very true. Well, the Arch is on in Rocky on Sunday.
Is it? I think it's next weekend.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. It's the 28th.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Straight Acer. He's going up there. Where's my guy Alpine?
I know. He might be retired, mate.
He is. He's standing at stud in Queensland somewhere. I think out west.
Okay.
Which is, that's good for him.
Mate, that just makes sense for an Archer winner.
It actually does.
Yeah.
You'll see his progeny pop up around Queensland.
What would his stub fee be?
$7 or $8 grand, you think?
Yeah, I was thinking 3.
No, it'd be $3 grand a fuck. It's not worth that. It's not even worth getting out of bed for Alpine. He's an Archer winner.
Well, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what his TV ad would be.
Yeah. It's just like, we've got 2 dot points. He's won the Archer. He started single figures in a Caulfield Guineas, did nothing. What's the third dot point? Surely he's got some black type on his resume.
He'd have to.
Have to.
Because if you take into a colt or an entire to stud off an Archer win, that's a bold business strategy.
It is.
What I know, and I'll tell you this for free, someone will buy them. Someone will buy them.
Look, wherever he's standing, I'm sure he'll probably be joined by someone like King Colorado. Fair enough. The JJ winner.
True.
Yet to win since.
Yeah.
Look, that could have been the greatest get out of the casino of all time. But I know there's a couple more bets placed on him post that. But still, he deserved it.
Oh, when you land a bet at $81,
yeah,
I felt better.
You don't need to get out of the casino.
No.
You can stay in there for a while. And then when your pocket's a little bit light, you're like, well, you know what?
I'm still
time to go.
Still clearly in the green with him.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Excited for the Brisbane Winter Carnival, though.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It's always phenomenal. Few stars coming up.
Yeah. We won't be there for a couple of days.
I know, it's disappointing.
Yeah. Well, you'll be in Japan just checking out the sights and sounds over there.
Yes. Looking to purchase some expensive yearlings over in Japan. We've been asked as a podcast to start expanding into the breeding game because we just know our shit.
Yep. Well
so I'm
said.
getting flying over there.
Yeah, and I'm going up and looking at the alpine edges of the world that are standing at maybe he's up at the Sunshine Coast because I'll be there the weekend after.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. Maybe I'll check in on mint condition and see how she's going.
Broodmare.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Doomben 10,000 Day and I miss Doomben Cup Day. But Eagle Farm will be there with bells on.
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
Let's go.